So the president of the United States is calling Zohran a communist. Let's take a look at the clip.
But he's going to explain there might be some dark, deep psychological reason where they want to vote the opposite way. I don't know what it is, but we have to win the midterms. Otherwise, all of the things that we've done, so many of them are going to be taken away by the radical left lunatics. I mean, we're going to end up with a communist mayor in New York. Can you believe it? A communist. Remember, I would always say, we will not have a socialist elected in our country. Remember, I'd say that all the time. And I was right. We skipped socialists. We got a communist elected. So I didn't tell a lie. I didn't tell a lie. I was right. We'll have a communist, not a socialist. But we've already seen the impacts of the dangerous game that they're playing. Democrats are causing delays in our air traffic control.
Calling Zohran a communist is weird and inaccurate. Zohran's progressive policies like affordable housing, better public services, and workers' rights are very different from communism, which seeks to abolish private property and radically restructure the economy. Labeling him as a communist misrepresents his views, scares voters with a false threat, and assumes people are too dumb to know the difference, while distracting them from real issues that actually affect people's daily lives. And listen, while we're at it, let's have a talk about Islamophobia real quick. Zohran is the leading candidate for New York City's mayoral race. He's Muslim, and there's a long history of politicians using fear-based language linking Muslims to crime or terrorism, especially in a city like New York, where Muslim New Yorkers, especially those who wear hijabs, beards, or other religious markers, have faced verbal and physical harassment and attacks and vandalism. Particularly, post 9/11 surveillance programs disproportionately targeted Muslim communities, especially in boroughs like Queens, which has one of the largest Muslim populations in the US. With these layers of misinformation and bias in mind, it's no wonder the race for a New York City mayor has become as much about spectacle and fear as it has been about actual policy. Because listen, we are weeks away from the New York City mayoral race. A fall chill is in the air, and apparently embarrassment is back in full fashion. Former disgraced Governor Andrew Cuomo and perennial attention magnet Curtis Sliwa are suddenly trying to act like they get the youth. They're flooding social media with cringe moments, memes, forced slang, and like really weird, offensive stuff. Andrew Cuomo, yes, the former disgraced governor who resigned and disgraced after a damning report detailed multiple allegations of sexual harassment, has apparently decided that the court of public opinion has a short memory. Armed with a smartphone, the worst people on the planet on staff, and one can only assume is an alarming lack of self-awareness, he's returned to social media like a divorced dad discovering TikTok, desperately trying to convince a generation of voters who were in middle school during the time of his fall from grace that he's somehow the answer to New York City's problems. And then there's Curtis Sliwa doing whatever he thinks he's doing with that red beret and a phone that he clearly shouldn't have unsupervised access to. Both men seem convinced that the path to relevance runs through memes and viral moments, and are apparently unaware that younger voters have this inconvenient habit of actually Googling people before supporting them. And in Cuomo's case, that search history is, well, let's just say it doesn't end well for him. And once you see who he's tapped on for social media manager and influencers in his final stretch, you'll understand exactly why. Because first, we need to talk about Sliwa's latest video. And I'm not exaggerating when I say somebody should have taken his phone away, physically removed it before he posted this. We're talking about a full crash out moment where he's using unhoused New Yorkers, our most vulnerable neighbors, as literal content props. Cut to the clip.
It's really sad. 55th, right in the heart, 1 block south of 7th Avenue, Carnegie Hall. This poor soul lives here every day. The Eric Adams administration does nothing about this, nothing. And they talk about, oh, we're taking care of the homeless, the emotionally disturbed. This man is in dire need of help. Now, I'm not the mayor yet. I can't get him into a mental health facility. I can't clean him up. I can't get him out of this squalor, but I can certainly feed him. There, by the grace of God, goes any one of us. Adams doesn't understand this. Cuomo released them from the mental health facilities, and Zohran Mamdani has no plan for them other than to house them in subways. Here you go, sir. Sir, here you go. Sandwich, okay? And a bottle of water. You need the water desperately, don't you? You need that water, okay? Now, what's your name? Oh, God, Curtis. Okay. Man, I'm telling you. I become mayor, I'm going to help all of your fellow brothers and sisters out here in the streets and subways. You know Curtis. I'm down. All right, enjoy your meal. Enjoy your meal. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, if you need a minute after that one, same. Curtis Sliwa, red beret on, phone in an aggressive upward angle that like every boomer uses, is literally screaming on the street. He's holding a Poland Spring water bottle in one hand and a sandwich in the other like they're props. He's yelling in a very deranged way about like Eric Adams. He's yelling about homelessness. He's yelling about cleaning up the city. And here's where he gets it deeply wrong and it becomes deeply uncomfortable. He turns to an unhoused person and he starts going off about how he's going to help all his brothers and sisters. In all seriousness, this person did not ask for this. They did not consent to being in a campaign video for Sliwa and is just existing on the streets while Sliwa uses them as a backdrop for his rant around Zohran having no plan but to house people. This is what he actually posted thinking it would help his campaign. One of the top comments read, "Sir, exploiting the homeless is not helping." And you know what? Somebody in his campaign saw him push record, and instead of saying absolutely not, they let him post it anyway. But somehow, Andrew Cuomo said, "Hold my beer." Before we get into his latest antics and influencers, let's take a look at his biggest spokesperson, his brother Chris.
You have to view all developments in politics through a lens of seeing how they are trying to manipulate you. You're right, and you're right to be outraged at what you're being told or really sold, right? They are taking advantage. Now you say, well, who is they? Okay, the parties who play to the fringe to seek advantage by convincing that the other side is worse. And because of that, they don't have to do anything except stop the other side because the other side is worse. And that's scary, right? The social media moguls who've made the most money in the history of media. Why? Because they get to sell outrage with absolutely no accountability. So
Chris Cuomo, yes, Andrew's brother, just posted a video talking about how social media moguls have made the most selling outrage with no accountability. He's out here saying we should not be mad about ugly and angry things in our feed, that people make sport and dollars off of division. Let me get this straight. Chris Cuomo, who advised his brother during the sexual harassment scandal, who was an active part of the strategy sessions on how to discredit women who came forward, is now lecturing us about outrage culture and accountability. Why does this man still have a microphone? Who's responsible for this? And he wants to talk about people making money off of division. Here's something funny. The money I make off of Instagram, the same Instagram where Chris literally DM'd me to start a fight, by the way, is exactly $0. I'm not selling supplements or cryptocurrency scams or rage bait content. I'm talking about policy. I'm talking about accountability and actual material conditions affecting New Yorkers and American lives that should piss you off. But Chris wants you to believe that your anger is manufactured, that it's false outrage cooked up by social media moguls trying to exploit you for clicks. Quick reminder, the Department of Justice found that Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed 13 women over 8 years. The New York State Attorney General's office found he harassed 11 women and released 9 hours of testimony detailing what all happened. It's all online. I just looked at it today. We're talking about grabbing, groping, touching staff without consent, placing hands on women's knees, commenting on how his aides looked in certain outfits, asking about their sex lives, kissing them on the lips without consent, asking a young subordinate if she thought it was weird that he dated younger women, and suggested he wanted a sexual relationship with her. Could you imagine? Touching women inappropriately, commenting on their bodies. The Department of Justice determined that he repeatedly subjected women in his office to non-consensual sexual conduct at an ongoing basis, oogling gender-based nicknames, while his top staff were aware and retaliated against 4 of the women who he harassed. He created a workplace where staff felt like they couldn't reject his advances without fear for their careers and livelihoods. A climate of fear where complaints seemed impossible. Andrew Cuomo resigned in disgrace in August 2021. So when Chris talks about no accountability, I need him to look in the mirror. Better yet, see yourself out before your mic is cut. Because watching him talk about accountability while his whole entire family has spent years avoiding it And now they're trying to convince you that your very reasonable anger about sexual harassment and abuse of power is just what? You being manipulated? You being sold? No, I think I speak for all women and probably all decent people somewhere when I say we are sick of disgraced men behaving terribly and then crying about the consequences of their own actions and then doing it all over again. We're angry because we have every right to be pissed off. And no amount of meta commentary about social media is going to gaslight us into forgetting why, Chris. And somehow it gets even worse. Let's cut to this clip.
So today, I'm officially starting Hot Girls for Cuomo. So if you are a hot girl for Andrew Cuomo, I want to hear from you. But in fact, let's hear from Andrew himself. Enough of me. We're going to play this or that sports edition. Jets or Giants?
Well, first remember, I was the governor, so I support all New York teams, but by
We're
birth...
going to get the real answer.
By birth, Jets, because I was born in Queens.
Okay.
So it'd be the Jets.
Knicks or Nets?
The Knicks, but the Nets have Michael Porter, and that is really exciting, and welcome to New York.
Welcome to New York, Michael. Rangers or Islanders?
By birth, Islanders.
Mets or Yankees?
By birth, Mets.
By birth.
Because it's all regional, right? I'm from Queens. So it was Mets, Jets, Islanders.
Yes. What's New York's best tourist attraction?
Oh, you have to do the Empire State Building, and you have to do the Freedom Tower.
One.
Empire State.
I think they're so cool. And their social medias run so phenomenally. Yeah. New York City's best deli.
Best deli, Katz's, which is a classic.
But not the one.
The Hot Girls for Cuomo campaign is exactly as bad as it sounds. After resigning because he, again, sexually harassed so many women after creating a workplace where young female staffers were groped, kissed without consent, and had their bodies commented on, Andrew Cuomo's team launched a social media campaign centered around attractive women supporting him. The face of this effort? Emily Austin, of course, a former Miss Universe judge who blamed the pageant's bankruptcy on transgender people. Austin runs the Emily Austin Show and is part of Netanyahu's influencer program, just hiding war crimes. In January, she claimed that Jews were sheep sick to slaughter during the Holocaust because they were afraid to be vocal and proud of their identity. She claimed that she was taken out of context. She defended RFK Jr. and built her platform on anti-science conspiracy theories and transphobic rhetoric. This is who Cuomo chooses to help him rebrand to young voters. A transphobic influencer and programs designed to defend war criminals. The strategy uses the same objectification of women that got him removed from office in the first place. It says, look, women with me, I know women. While he ignores his abuse of power over women. And he thinks it's going to work for him. And perhaps the most disgrace of all, let's look at his social campaign staffer in the final nail in the coffin.
I'm about to go undercover as a Zohran Mamdani canvasser to see what people actually think of his positions, past statements, and whether they'll still vote for him when they learn the truth. Let's go. What up, my comrades? You guys voting for Zoe?
Yeah.
Yes, sure. Hi, I'm with the Zohran campaign.
Yeah, I voted for
Oh, awesome. Can I get your pledge to vote for him, the general?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what does he stand for?
I can tell you a little bit about it. Let's see. Are you cool to increase taxes on whiter neighborhoods? So basically, like taxing white people higher?
No, white people, rich people.
No. He says specifically whiter neighborhoods.
I just don't think that this is exactly his policies.
Wait, so you voted for him in the primary, but you didn't know about that? So he doesn't hate white people.
See if he does, who he doesn't. Come like that's his perspective.
Whatever.
No.
Look, if you can't win fair and square, do as MAGA would. Lie louder, trash your credibility, and ruin everyone's lives around you. Zach, Hot Guys for Zohran, Fox, is out here claiming Zohran is taking away the police, hiking taxes on white people, and even somehow making space for people to do crack and attack Jewish folks, which is called fraudulent misrepresentation. New York has enforcement mechanisms for campaign violations and has recently moved to curb deceptive practices in political communications, including measures aimed at AI and false content. Even if criminal prosecution is rare, civil remedies, cease and desist letters, public complaints to the New York State Board of Elections Division, election law enforcement, and reputational consequences, they're all on the table. And the law looks closely at whether statements were knowingly false and intended to mislead voters. Look, at the end of the day, we know we all deserve better than this, better than washed up politicians using our most vulnerable neighbors as props, better than men who've already shown us exactly who they are. Now, they're asking us to forget. We also deserve better than influencer campaigns built on lies and the same objectifications that got them in trouble in the first place. New Yorkers are not stupid. We can all see what's happening here, and it's exhausting. So if you're in New York, please vote like your city depends on it, because it does. And if you've enjoyed this video, please take a moment to subscribe. I am Lauren P. across all social channels. Would love to stay connected. Families belong together. Affordable rent is within reach. Children deserve childcare. Student loans and medical debt shouldn't exist. And we'll be back. Okay.